And the State Department is urging Russia to negotiate for the release of Brittney Griner and Paul Whelan after Brittney Griner's appeal was denied. She'll now make her way to a Russian penal colony to serve a 9-year sentence unless a deal on a prisoner swap is reached. ABC News foreign correspondent Marcus Moore is live from our London bureau with more on that and the day's other international headlines. Marcus, President Biden says the U.S. is in constant contact with Russian authorities to try to get Brittney Griner and Paul Whelan freed. What's the latest on those negotiations?
Well, Diane, it's certainly not surprising that the U.S. has shown a true willingness, it would appear, to negotiate her release. And we understand from officials in the U.S. government and the State Department that those conversations have continued throughout and that they are ongoing. On Russia's part, we did hear today from Dmitry Peskov, who is the spokesperson for the Kremlin. He was asked about the negotiations that are apparently underway and would not give out details. He said that if those talks were underway, that it would be something that would be done quietly, not something that is talked about in the public. And as you know, Diane, early on in this saga, the U.S. urged Russia to negotiate. They put up the idea of perhaps a prisoner swap and urged Russia to either counter or come up with some type of response, a serious response to their ideas. And Diane, it has long been believed and thought that Brittney Griner's detention was meant to be a bargaining chip for Russia at the start of this conflict. As you know, she was taken into custody on February 17th, just before Russia invaded Ukraine. And certainly what happens next will be something we are all watching. Not only are U.S. officials working to secure her release, but also that of Paul Whelan, the former Marine who has been held in Russia now for several years. The hope is that they can make some headway, but Diane, it appears there's a lot of work left to be done on this issue.
Marcus, shifting gears to there in the UK, Downing Street says that President Biden has now spoken to the new UK Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak. So what's Sunak's plan for UK-US relations?
Well, first and foremost, the Prime Minister spoke with President Biden for the first time over the phone yesterday, and one of the things he said is that the UK will be a committed partner with the U.S. and that they'll continue to foster what they've described as a special relationship between the two countries, and that includes collaboration on economic and geopolitical issues, as well as countering China on their military moves and also their economic strategy. But perhaps what is most notable here is the Prime Minister pledged continued support for Ukraine. The UK has been a key ally in helping the U.S. supply Ukraine with military and economic aid. He also agreed to continue putting pressure on Moscow by supporting economic sanctions, and the hope is on the part of the West is that they can cut Russia's cash flow and that they won't be able to continue this war that's been waging now since February.
And Marcus, Brazil is now just days away from a high-stakes presidential election. What's the latest on that, and why is this election so important?
Yeah, some have said that this is one of the most important elections for Brazil in recent memory. It's a whole lot closer than many observers had anticipated. You have the current president, Jair Bolsonaro, and he's running against the former president, Lula da Silva, who was widely expected to win the first election that happened on October 2nd. Bolsonaro was not expected to get past the first round, but yet he is still very much in this fight. There is a runoff set for October 30th because Lula da Silva did not get 50% of the vote. And the reason why this is so important is, in particular, because the U.S. is watching this, is because Brazil can be a key partner, not only for the economy, but also in the effort to address climate change. And with this election, Diane, Brazil finds itself in a unique position because, as it seems right now, all roads lead to Ukraine. And as long as the war is happening there, it has disrupted the supply chain, and that has had a ripple effect. And Brazil is in a unique position to fill the gap in terms of demand for food and also the effort to reduce climate change. And that's one reason why this election will be so important, because whoever the president is will lead the administration's charge. Diane.
Global impact, no doubt. Marcus Moore, thank you.
Thank you, Diane.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.